quasi-live.
Quasi-live?
We're ready.
Yeah, we're kind of live.
Almost live.
We're live right now in the moment.
Okay.
We've discussed this many times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you need to explain it in the 19th episode that we have had. 19th or 20th? Are you?
I hope I'm number 19.
Slayton
17.
Slayton 17. And then Chris Filon.
Chris Filon.
Is it? Oh, it is Filon.
Filon.
Why do I do that every time? I fucked his name up.
Because you're an asshole.
So he's 18, so this makes this...
I'm a prime number.
No, wait.
Chris is after Slayton?
Yeah, Chris was 18, and then we did one that was 19.
Oh.
I'm going to have to look at the
although, let's be honest.
Although today is my daughter's 20th birthday, and being number 20 would be cool too, but I like prime numbers.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we're not 100% sure
look
that
at the website. Craftconversations.com, right?
All right, well, calm down. We're talking amongst ourselves, so we don't need a narration of what you're doing.
I'm looking up what episode this is.
We're not entirely sure that the episode we recorded between the two of us is good enough.
Uh-huh.
It was very different, just the two of us sitting here trying to fill. I think we had expectations to hit the 2-hour mark for some reason between, we would have enough to talk about, and we couldn't do it.
Well, you should have done like the best of thing where it was just y'all two, and then you could have filled some of the gap in with.
That's a good thought.
Some of the highlights.
Howard Stern does the best of the week. He doesn't do it, but a couple of his people do it.
Rogan does too.
He does the best. Yeah, he does a
recap.
Best of the month.
Of the week, whatever. But.
Is it the week or the month for Rogan?
Yeah, Rogan does the best of the week. Howard Stern does a wrap-up show. So after every episode, there's a wrap-up show with two guys from his show that do a wrap-up of the 4 hours that they talked about.
That's so redundant.
Well,
it's very popular, though.
It's a good way for Howard to get off early.
Isn't it? Well, no, because he's sitting there for 4 hours.
No, his engineers are sitting there longer. He's probably already got out the door.
Exactly. He doesn't have to do the work.
Right. He's there for 4 hours. Everybody else is probably there 8 hours, at least.
Well, yeah, but they're getting paid.
Well, they're getting paid. Yeah.
I don't feel sorry for them.
No, I don't feel sorry for them at all. They're doing their job.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, these are all great ideas, but we need those extra people. I've said it 8,000 times, and I'll continue to say it.
I'm not hearing anything in my headphones. I don't think I plugged in or something.
Maybe
I think you're just a baby, man.
I might have given you a bum battery.
No, because I can hear you guys. But, all right, you got to realize, Brian, that you could probably plug in your headphones directly.
No. My cord wasn't plugged in all the way. I hear you guys now.
I hear myself now.
Yeah.
Well, I still think you could plug your headphones in directly, and it would sound a lot different.
Yeah. It feels great. I mean...
Really?
Great. Sounds great right now.
Feels
because
great.
I plugged my headphone in. I was unplugged. That's why I couldn't hear shit.
Who the fuck are we talking to right now?
We're talking to Fleming Moore.
Well,
you know this guy?
Oh, I know this guy.
Fleming Moore from Bummerville Amphitheater.
But not everyone is watching.
Flim Shady.
I thought most people are listening.
A lot of names.
Flim Shady, that's right. How did you get Flim Shady?
Well, I in one of my numerous lives in the past, I had stepsons who tagged me with Flim Shady, and I liked it and I kept it.
All right.
Well, that's running with something.
And I mean, is it play on Slim Shady?
No, it's probably because I was such a wonderful role model that they donned me with the M&M.
Yeah.
Slim Shady.
He was not a good role model. What are you talking about?
That's called sarcasm, Brian.
Okay,
Do I need to Google this?
No, I got you. Sarcasm. I'll look it up. I have a mouse. I have a computer.
We don't actually need you to look it up.
All right.
I think we all know.
That's sarcasm as well.
Oh, touche.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. We interrupted.
It's okay to be sarcastic about yourself. It's when you do it towards others that it hurts.
That is true. That is true. I feel like when you are sarcastic toward yourself, people enjoy it. It's funny.
Actually, I didn't mean it to be sarcasm. I meant it to be self-deprecating. Well, and the fact that it's true, but there's some humor in it now that I'm beyond it,
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
Right.
Right, yeah. That's true. But, being able to have humor makes it easier to...
Move this in further. I do this all the time with everybody, so don't worry about it, Fleming. Just calm down.
Okay.
Just relax.
He's a stickler.
I've been to the dentist.
I will say that I can.
Speaking of the dentist.
Oh, that's much better.
Whatever, man.
I'm just telling you.
I can see your face better now, at least, so that's something.
That's cool. I just don't want
Is
to
that
become
a good
the.
thing?
I feel like I want to be the interviewer here. You know.
Oh, you're not interviewing.
I know. I was
Yeah.
going to ask you guys some questions.
Take over.
No,
No?
but I do have questions about how y'all are feeling about Rivercraft 2018 and
Oh, I'm feeling great about it.
Very excited.
any new news?
Yeah, actually, we sold some tickets today.
Right.
So we got some early bird tickets. Shout out to Robin Brown, first one. Bought some tickets, which is great. I know Paul Stone, or Paul Pietrofesso from
Right.
Paul Stone Project, who's also playing on the event. So he's going to try and buy some tickets to give away during a show this weekend, I think, which is pretty exciting. I'm going to remind him about that commitment he made.
Well, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Might have a raffle out at the Friday night.
That's
It's Friday night at Blackwater.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I just got paid. I could buy a couple of tickets and
That's a great idea.
get it going. I'm very hopeful.
Oh man, we could probably start like some kind of like Instagram post, tag this, and get your name entered to win a free ticket kind of thing.
Okay.
Which I'm saying on the air. I feel like after this post,
That's a good idea, because I'll tell you what
it'll
happened.
be too. I feel like
Speaking of that,
go ahead.
my daughter, I was telling you, turned 20 today. Today's her 20th birthday,
What's her name?
and her name is Sarah Beth
All right.
Moore, and I trolled her Facebook page the other day,
Oh,
and I saw this pair of Birkenstocks on there, and I said, I bet she's just throwing a hint out for me. So I went and got her a pair of Birkenstocks, and she thanked me, and she goes, I entered a contest the other day to where I had to tag this and share this picture, and I was hoping to win a pair. So in other words, she really wanted a pair of Birkenstocks, but she didn't win it from whom she thought she was going to.
well, that's cool.
So I think that was a good idea to promote your event.
I like that. It kind of plays into your like mindset of a situation. If you put something out in the universe,
Right.
the universe will respond. It may not always be the way you think or expect it to, but if you're putting the energy out there, the energy
usually
comes.
responds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I like that. That's a great story.
Saying it even connects, it moves on into the present by you mentioning it and me being conscious enough to make the connections.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's a good idea. Don't forget about it. Write that one down.
Yeah.
Oh, I still don't have a
I didn't
notebook.
write it
That's
down.
you, man. You got the notebook.
I didn't write it down. I got too
I
much
know,
stuff
but
going on.
before. So
I'll write it down. Birkenstocks, whatever.
we're drinking. No, that's not what we're writing down. We're talking about the
Contest to win
Instagram.
tickets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tag her. So
Birkenstocks,
like
tickets.
you just-
Universe. I got it. It's all in.
We may have to tell the story again for me.
Yeah,
He
like
didn't understand.
I mean, the odds are pretty good. Unlike the Birkenstock one, where there was
Universe.
probably 2 million people going after a pair of Birkenstocks.
well, if they're paying $1 for a raffle, I like it.
Well, no, I'm talking about just what
Raffle.
what I'm thinking is that we say share this on Facebook,
There you
and
go.
you get a chance to win a pair of tickets.
That's much better.
So that then the
Tickets.
person is probably we get 100 shares.
That's a great idea.
The first
Write
person
that
you
down.
pick one out of 100, or even make the odds better. Say we're only going to take the first 50, so you got a 1 in 50 chance of winning a pair of
The
tickets.
first 50. We're not giving away 50 tickets.
No, the first 50 people who tag, then that's when the raffle's over.
Oh.
And then there's a 1 in 50 chance of winning a pair of tickets.
I like the way your brain thinks. Bro, I can't even read that.
I can't either.
Give me
We've
the
talked about it
notebook.
before. I've got the general consensus over here.
Yeah, but,
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
I can't read your notes.
All right.
Because I did notice, guys, that it went from 146 to over 150 I think 59 people are interested.
No, 163. Right?
Oh, it's moved since 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Right, we missed the boat on the 175 that we were trying to reach. We talked about that earlier, but from when you mentioned, let's move on this thing, I think it was 141.
Yeah, it was in the 140,
and now
46.
163. So
yeah, so we almost
it's moved quite a bit.
That's 17 more people.
That's good.
Right.
In 2
This
years.
is
We still have like 2 weeks.
This is June 18th right now. So yeah.
Yeah, I think
the 16 days. I think something like that.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Plenty of time to keep pushing.
You want to pour this?
Yeah, let's talk about what we're drinking right now.
This is Abita, right? Abita root beer. I didn't even look it up. How weird is that? I'm not gonna look it up. This is.
You didn't look it up?
Abita? Right?
Yeah, it's
Abita.
Abita.
Is Abita? Is that what you drink?
Yeah.
Abita root beer. So
Abita root beer.
It's delicious.
Fleming's cup right here. Glass cup. I don't fucking know.
Thank you.
There's some root beer for you.
All right.
And I'm looking forward to it. I used to like to drink root beer.
Oh man, I'm a big craft root beer lover. I'm not gonna lie. As much as beer.
Yeah.
Well, my wife has been telling me that, I missed out on the whole craft beer revolution, and that the kombucha, some of those flavors are a lot like craft beers.
Yeah.
So I've been drinking some kombucha, getting the probiotics.
I don't need that much.
No, you're good, man. We're gonna share all this. I got the most. Oh, almost fucking over.
Yeah, no, but I mean, if we're drinking a beer afterwards, now we have nothing to get.
I guarantee you, we'll all be up about 4:30 in the morning.
What is wrong with you?
Look at my glass. I got a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you just don't know
what
you're gonna get. What is this thing?
You can't even cheers with that much in your cup.
All right. Well,
I hope you spilled that on your Surface Pro.
No,
because it's not an iPad or a Mac.
Right here. All right.
It's even more willing to spill it.
We're gonna cheers to Craft Conversations and Bummerville Amphitheater.
Yes.
All right.
To good things in the future.
Yes.
It's got a great, sweet sassafras smell to it, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I haven't had root beer in a while. This shit is fucking good. That's Abita? Where is Abita?
It is Abita. Louisiana.
Look it up.
It's
Looked it up earlier.
It's kid friendly for sure.
Abita.
Mm-hmm.
We had this place in St. Louis that we used to go when I was stationed out there in Illinois. We, meaning my ex-wife and both my kids. And I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was in St. Louis. And the fucking root beer was phenomenal. And they had a candy shop out there called Crown Candy. It's been around since the 40s or maybe 50s. That place was insane as far as milkshakes, malted beverages, sweets, treats, ice cream, whatever. All right, let's calm down.
Yeah, thank you for that story. That was great.
Yeah.
So I guess we should explain why we're not drinking beer. Fleming.
The world is a safer place when Fleming Moore does not drink beer.
Okay.
Straight from the dragon's mouth.
All right.
Yeah. And we are not anyone to antagonize that kind of thing. So
Well,
there are plenty of other craft beverages to drink. And we've already had Janet Riley, which didn't drink alcohol either.
no.
It's more about the interesting and influential people that we want to, and fun that we want to hit, rather than the craft beer aspect. There are ways to continue our standard without drinking alcohol, and it's great.
Well, here's to me not drinking. I'm allergic to alcohol.
I'll cheers to that too.
Yeah.
I break out in spots.
Okay, an actual another cheer.
I might be too.
I break out in spots and handcuffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty good though. Let's take a look at this. So Abita root beer. Abita root beer is made with a hot mix process using spring water, herbs, vanilla, and yucca, which creates foam. Unlike most soft drink manufacturers, Abita sweetens its root beer with pure Louisiana cane sugar. The resulting taste is reminiscent of soft drinks made in the 1940s and 50s before bottlers turned to corn, sugar, and fructose. Some soft drink makers add caffeine to their product, but Abita is naturally caffeine-free. Really?
Most root beer is.
Add a scoop of vanilla ice cream for an old-fashioned, which Homegrown Brewhouse does. Root beer float. Abita root beer can also be used in cooking to create delicious glazes and sauces, as well as cakes and other desserts. Or you can keep it simple. Just pour it into a frosty mug and slurp loudly through a straw. We should have a frosty glass. There you go. Abita root beer. No caffeine.
No caffeine.
I'm kind of disappointed in the no caffeine.
Really?
I like caffeine.
I mean, I really like caffeine too. Do you, actually?
I do a French press every morning.
Ah, good man.
I was
He's never
blessed
had
with a
French
broken
press.
coffee maker. I had never, in my ignorance, heard of a French press, even though I was doing whole bean coffee. And lightning struck and blew out my coffee maker. I said, oh no, I got no way to make coffee. And my wife goes, yeah, you do. And she made me a French press, and I haven't gone back to the coffee maker.
Really?
That's a real man. French press is the best.
I mean,
Absolute
that
best.
oil on the top, I especially like the Sexy 7 Coastal Coffee, fresh roasted. You get it just right. It blooms,
Mm-hmm.
and then you wait for the bloom to, and then you pour the rest of the water in. 4 minutes later, you got some slick, oily coffee that will wake you up.
This man's a professional. He knows the bloom. Most people don't know the bloom. That's very awesome.
I have no idea what the bloom is.
Oh, God. Amateur
Well, you can
hour.
tell how fresh the coffee is by the bloom.
Yeah, exactly.
Coastal Coffee Roasters is about the only place I get the bloom. I think
Agreed.
it has got it also to do with the size of how big you grind up the grinder, because my grinder will tighten up and then I'll get smaller grounds and it doesn't want to bloom. So got to readjust it to that just perfect size ground to
Right.
get the great.
Interesting. Well, you'd be releasing more gas the finer grind that it is. But I wonder if it's like instantaneous upon the grind.
I have no knowledge of coffee roasting.
All right.
Although I work there and I talk to Richard all the time, we just bullshit. I don't talk about roasting. I don't talk about any of the details of what he's doing. We just kind of bullshit.
I can't believe he just doesn't automatically tell you.
So y'all seriously don't do any roasting in the warehouse?
No, we do roasting. I don't.
What
I say
kind-
we.
What are y'all roasting
No,
back
it's not
there?
we. It's Richard Mallett. He's the only guy that does roasting. I just go out there and bullshit and distract him and make sure that it's not roasted correctly.
I mean, I roasted with them for a small amount of time.
Well,
A few months. When they were in Germany, a roast.
Yeah.
uh-huh.
I mean, he's told me the process and he showed me the computer program that he uses and the temperatures and
Yep.
the scale and all that kind of stuff. But
It's really fascinating. He's
they'd have to
very
pay me
passionate.
A lot of money to do what he does.
It's like just a form of brewing beer, I think. If not less complicated.
No, you're right. It's just like baking or cooking or whatever else. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just time and ingredients and whatever.
Very true. Knowing temperatures.
Yeah, temperature is very important.
Gas pressed.
I guess it makes it easier the closer to sea level you are.
Why is that?
I don't know. Like with baking, if you're at a higher altitude, you got
Right, you got to adjust it.
right. You got to adjust it,
Yeah.
and just like I think specifically because water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit at sea level,
Okay.
and it changes. So, like when I calibrate gauges or something, a lot of times it's you get in the bottom of a ship, and it's like the instruments are so heavy that
Wait a minute.
you can actually take a teapot and get a steam point at sea level, and that's more accurate than any machine could ever make because the machine is trying to simulate 212 degrees at sea level.
Interesting.
What are you doing at the bottom of a ship to begin
Well,
with?
I calibrate gauges. What made me think about that is who's calibrating Richard's gauges at Coastal, or do they even need to be calibrated?
I think he has somebody. But I think for the most part, he knows how to do it.
Yeah. See, I mean, but the process, getting back to the original point, the process involves physics, and it's pretty complicated, and he does a good job at it.
Yeah, because the coffee's delicious.
Sexy 7 whole bean.
I mean, you could just... It's a oily, dark coffee.
It's the best.
Amen.
I'm gonna be honest. This is just too sweet. I mean,
and you poured yourself the most, you ding dong.
well, I didn't mean to. I used to love root beer, but the more I've been off sugar and keto and whatever, this is like super massive in your face sweet.
Right, that's what I was saying. If you drink that whole thing, you will be up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, that's pretty standard anyway.
Sugar goes. I mean, but anyway.
Oh yeah, this motherfucker.
No, I like the fact that there's root beer available and it's not bad, but you can't drink more than one or a half, and that's why you get a little bit on the draft. You'll see me drink one.
But I mean, taste-wise, I think it's phenomenal. But after I let it sit there for like 5 minutes afterwards, it's just, the sweet just lingers crazily. I mean, it's like I've got just a massive amount of syrup in my mouth.
I love it. It's so good, man.
It's good.
I've got a journal of favorite craft beers.
Let's put some ice cream in there for you.
Yeah.
No, that would definitely balance it out. I'd love that. But I should have thought about that.
Before you emptied the entire growler into your cup? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. We should have got ice cream. This 40-mile detour sticker over here, it keeps flaking up like this. The camera's not going to get it. But
well, don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was funny. What do you think? What are you laughing at?
I don't know. Go ahead. What are you talking about?
Well, I forgot now because you're laughing.
No.
Well, we were talking about 40 Mile Detour, my favorite band.
Your favorite band?
My favorite band in Charleston. Because Mark writes such good songs. And he's doing kind of like what I wish I were doing. You know? He's performing in listening rooms where people are listening, and he's got a good fan base. And he invites me up to play harmonica. That doesn't hurt.
There you go.
But no, they're a good band.
Well, you got your own kind of thing going on with New York and a vinyl that's coming out.
Well, that's...
I mean, there are 2 CDs right in front of me.
Speaking of sales, I have 2 sales of vinyl so far, but that's good. No, the deal with the vinyl is at the end of July, I'm going to New York City and have been selected through Reverbnation to go to Least of All recording studio in Brooklyn and to record a live session direct to vinyl. And that you can pre-order it now if you like my Fleming Musician page on Facebook, and you can pre-order it. You can select out of 8 songs which one you want me to record especially for you. So for example, my niece ordered one the other day, and so when I record the song that she picked, I'll say, Caroline, this is for you, thank you. And she'll have a one-of-a-kind recording on a 7-inch vinyl. So go to leastofall.com/FlemingMoore, and you can listen and maybe help me out on my journey.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. That's cool.
Well, I like the idea of it. It gives me the incentive to go to New York and hopefully get some exposure in a different market besides the metropolis that I've been playing in lately.
Have you been
from here originally?
Yeah, I was born across the street from McDonald's.
Oh, yeah?
1961.
Okay.
This is...
So no ties with New York whatsoever?
No, I've been to New York a bunch of times. I lived in Philadelphia and would do trade shows at the Javits Center, but I've never performed there. And anyway, I've got a guy up in Brooklyn that's been doing some radio promo for me, and he's trying to hook me up with a place on the upper or the lower east side called Rockwood Hall, and hopefully I'll be performing there. But it's just good to get out of Charleston and up to New York summertime.
Yeah, I've never been. I would really like to go though.
Yeah, I've gone through the Buffalo airport to go to Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, but I've never actually been. I guess I spent a little bit of time in Buffalo. I went to a couple breweries. What are we talking about? No?
The city, NYC, Brooklyn, the boroughs, man.
Yeah, it's in Buffalo.
And I went to New York for other reasons too, but
You've been in a freaking airport. That didn't count for shit.
No, I went to a brewery down there.
You went to LaGuardia?
Big Ditch. It's right. It's on the fucking table over here somewhere.
Is it?
Big Ditch.
I probably got it covered up. Yeah, out of all
It's on
the stickers,
yeah,
all the stickers in all the world.
You found it.
Just call me Columbo.
Nah, we cover it right back up.
We solved the mystery over there. Big Dish. We're gonna put that in the show notes.
So aside from your vinyl, what I'm gonna do a little edit footage of this. We have 2 CDs in front of me.
Correct.
What the heck are these?
Those are the first 2 of a 3-part EP project I started about 3 years ago. I thought it was going to take me a year to release 3 EPs. It's taken me 3 years. And basically what I did was I've been writing songs since I was about 3 years old.
Wait, 3 years old?
Yeah, I would like Weird Al. I would hear a melody and put my own words to it. So, and I mean, when you're 3 or 4 years old doing that, I mean, you hear simple, you could change anything like Mary Had a Little Lamb into a song. So
Right.
before I picked up an instrument. And then I'd freestyle sometimes.
Like Flim Shady.
That's what I was destined to be Flim Shady. So I'd freestyle. I could make words rhyme that aren't supposed to rhyme. I mean, seriously, my name was Fleming. It's actually Fleming, but until I was like 6 years old, I thought it was Fleming. And so I thought it rhymed with lemon, and I would make things rhyme. And so, anyway, I was pretty good at writing lyrics. And so, anyway, to get to the point of this, I went and looked at my life from the time I was like writing serious songs, 19 till this year, and picked 12 songs that kind of tell a story. It's a story of a guy who's looking for some kind of purpose or identity in life, and finally finds it in the last EP, which will be released in July. And I'm thinking about dropping it at Coastal Coffee Roasters on July the 14th when I'm playing. In fact, 40 Mile Detour is playing the Friday night before, so I don't know, I need to get with Mark and see if we can turn that into a party.
Nice. Yeah, this will come out before then, so we can totally promote that.
Right, and I have, like, the folk songs for the Apocalypse one, I have like 10 copies left out of the first. I think I've sold 200, given away a bunch too, though, but first run, so I'm going to order another run of that. I got plenty of On the Edge of America, and Someone's Son, the next EP to come out, has a single that's released on Apple Music. You can stream it from Spotify. All that's available on Apple Music, or if you want a CD, which I don't know if people still buy those things or not. Here I am. I don't know if some people do buy vinyl. I think more people are interested in vinyl than they are CDs these days.
I think so too. Yeah.
Definitely.
So anyway,
at this point.
Yeah, but those are good for radio promos. You send them off and stuff, but they'll be available at Rivercraft.
Heck yeah.
And I'm starting a line of jewelry that's called Laurel 628. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to have my display case at Rivercraft.
Laurel 628.
Laurel 628.
All right.
Earrings and necklaces.
Are we gonna?
Rivercraft, July 1st,
We're gonna-
2018. Blackwater on the Ashley. Go ahead.
What? I was gonna ask her. Are you actually making this jewelry right?
Oh, that's the wife, right?
Well,
Jewelry. I can't say that word to save my life.
well, it's kind of like Eminem has his own Mark Anthony has his own clothing line, right?
Yeah.
I figured Flim Shady needs a jewelry line. Mark Anthony doesn't actually make the clothes,
Touche.
but it's his line. So
Okay.
I help in the production and the.
You're making some shady jewelry.
No, it's jewelry for women, not men. So
Oh wait, whoa! You trying to tell me I can't purchase and wear some of these things?
you could probably no. Some of it's pretty cool. It involves feathers and stuff. And actually, Amy lived in Chicago, and she's an artist, and she has gotten a lot of pieces of old costume jewelry that were given to her, and she's got jars and jars of it. So she's upcycling old jewelry into new jewelry.
Okay.
That's smart.
Some of it's Art Deco. I mean, it's cool stuff.
Okay. I got leftover stretched ears, so
Leftover
holes.
Some people will call it a cat asshole. I'm not gonna lie, that is the term.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Well, my sister had hers ripped.
Oh no.
So she's got a flap. I don't think you would call that an asshole. You might call it a slit, though.
Ooh.
I'd call it a mistake.
Yep.
Someone got in the pit, ripped it out. Nah.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you get really heavy jewelry, and it's got like
You get
a thinner or like a finer wire that kind of holds it in place, it eventually will just go right through. Your ear just kind of grows around it. It's weird.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Stretching was weird. I kind of miss it. But, plugs and stuff get really expensive.
Do they? I've just never been a big fan of having to do all the hygiene involved in something like that.
I just did basic body care. I just washed my ear holes. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
While I was in the shower, that was it.
That was it?
I mean, if you get natural stuff like stone or wood or stuff, it kind of helps absorb the smell, and it doesn't. Because if you get metal, it causes your ear to sweat more, and it's bad for you. You get fungus, and it really stinks.
Right.
Shrivels up a lot. It looks really nasty.
I can't wear anything unless it's real gold or sterling silver. Like if I put it in my ear.
What are you, a vampire?
No, a vampire wouldn't be able to handle silver.
Oh, you're right.
Silver, yeah. So if it's anything that's fake, it makes my ear puss up and get infected and crushed and whatever.
Oh my gosh.
It has to be real gold or real silver.
You're so tender.
I guess, yeah. It gets all green. Fucking, I don't know.
Fleming, I'm kind of surprised that you're not a little more Jack Sparrow-y.
And what do you mean by that?
Like tonight? Or
No,
just in general?
In general. I feel like you could almost have like a more, I don't know, I think you're pretty eccentric, but you don't really have a lot of accessories about you. I don't know, your sunglasses are pretty different. You got those small sunglasses,
right.
Are pretty eccentric.
Papers.
And I've never seen anyone wear a hat like that in real life.
Right, Scottish hat.
I don't know. Never mind. I'll take that back now. You're pretty artistic.
Well, I almost wore my pink Oxford and my khakis with my wingtips.
With your
but my
Awesome.
wife dressed me instead. So
your belt, phone holder, and
no, well I donned the shirt because you got
to represent.
I'm a walking shameless self-promotion. But actually, the Bummerville Amphitheater is not about me. It's about music.
You want to let everyone know what exactly Bummerville Amphitheater is?
It's a 501c3 whose mission is to energize, educate, and empower local musicians.
Okay.
And bring community together. It's been a...
For the people that don't know what a 5013C is.
Oh, that's a nonprofit.
There we go.
It's a legal nonprofit in which donations are used to empower, educate, and energize musicians locally in our community. And I went to a place called Sanford, Florida. And it kind of reminds me of Somerville but it's laid out with more blocks and people are walking around. And the people I was visiting told me about 15 years ago it was a ghost town. And they took me to this German deli, and there was a polka band there that was playing, and they started playing there every night for like back in the day. And now that from that one little place of polka music, it's just music all for blocks and blocks. And now those guys only play on Sunday nights, but it transformed the whole downtown scene with music. And I thought Somerville certainly could do something like that. And music just brings different people together. It brings different races, creeds, beliefs. I mean, when you get in playing music and you play for a song to make it better rather than being about the person, when you get with the right musicians, then it's all about making a product that could be its best, where all the pieces together, the sum of the parts are always great, less than the whole. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, the whole is greater than the sum. I used to teach calculus and I can't even remember that. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Individually, we don't add up as much as we do collectively.
Right. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Well, I mean, that's awesome. And I love being able to set up and help out any way that I can.
Right. Well, it's been that. So anyway, it was a pretty lofty mission. And the way I was hoping to empower musicians was collect a lot of used instruments, because I realize a lot of people, they'll buy their kid an instrument because Johnny wants to play trumpet. Johnny plays it 2 weeks and it sits in a closet for 20 years. And so the thought was if we collected some instruments that we could get them back out into community. And I ran into Chris Rankin, Old Man Rankin, who had started something up in Brooklyn but had moved down here and didn't see the sense in reinventing the wheel and trying to do the same thing he was doing. And so I kind of turned that over to Noise. So that part is no longer part of the vision. But what I would like to do is continue to provide opportunities for musicians to get paid when at events that they normally wouldn't get paid.
That's a solid goal.
Good goal. Yeah, for sure. And we want to help out with that for sure. You know, having those people on our podcast and trying to get them promoted and out there in the streets and at the venues. They're going to pay them some money.
Right. When I think Craft Conversations is a good vehicle to help with that. Not only empowering them by giving them exposure they normally wouldn't receive, but also energizing the community by getting the word out. And that's what y'all are able to put together. You, Brian, with this Rivercraft is something that I didn't have the time or energy to do, but it fits right in with the nonprofit. So my hat goes off to you, and accolades, man. I'm looking forward to working with you guys and looking at other projects. But if we're talking about projects, is it okay if I mention something that's going to happen way in September?
Absolutely.
No, go ahead.
I got a text today from Ross Bond.
Nice.
And Ross says, for y'all who don't know Ross Bond, go to YouTube, Google Ross Bond and the Mighty Kings. This guy is going to be playing at the James Dean Theater September 14th, and we don't have an opening band yet, but maybe we could have some kind of contest to see who's going to open for Ross Bond. Because it's not going to be Flem Shady. My music's not the blues, but I think we have a couple of blues people that might
we do
be up for the task. The word today at 3:28 p.m. Good to go for September 14th date.
Nice.
My response is thanks. So you guys were security for the last show, but I'm thinking of a podcast in the lounge of the James Dean on September 14th.
I like
You
it.
can
that'd
get,
be sweet.
all right, take the show on the road.
Heck yeah, man. We'll
Yes.
actually be doing that this weekend.
Yeah, over
Kind
at Brewery.
of. Yeah. We'll be doing live broadcasting and
For
whatnot.
their third anniversary.
yeah.
this
Awesome.
Yeah.
weekend.
So that's pretty exciting, man.
So who are your guests for this event?
Yeah. Nobody.
We hadn't
Just
picked a
open.
specific person, so we don't know if we're gonna run into someone and talk to them while we're there, or if we're gonna try and figure out someone before we set up. We don't know.
And what date is this?
This is Saturday.
This Saturday.
Oh, we never responded what time we're gonna be there.
Yeah, I mean, it may be Saturday. We got to talk about it because I've got that beer mile that's on Saturday at Rusty Bull with me and my brother and a couple
Oh.
other guys. That's at 3 o'clock.
Oh,
I'm supposed to be at my parents' house prior to that for a get together with my aunt and cousins.
why
or
didn't
whatever.
you text us all of that?
So it might be Friday that we need to do this.
We can't do it Friday. It's on Saturday.
No, it's the whole weekend. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, well, I can't do that because I have Blackwater.
I got Blackwater.
Yeah,
We'll
you know
figure
what? Screw it. By
We'll
the time
figure it
this comes out, it's already passed anyway.
We'll figure it
Right.
out.
Yeah, what are we
By
even
the time this
talking
comes
about
out,
it right now?
we've already figured
Well,
it out.
the only way you can really go back in time is if you're shooting a live video at All in Dog Green, and I'm watching it.
Oh my gosh.
You remember that the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like freaky because I'm like watching.
Oh yeah, y'all came up together.
Yeah, and I was like 3 seconds behind, so I could watch what I just did. I walked over to the table and watched what I did 3 seconds ago live on. So it's actually not live on Facebook. That's a big.
yeah, it's a little bit behind.
Yeah, so it's not really live. It's 3. But how far is our conscious thought really behind reality? How long? How
I
long
thought
does
about
it?
that too.
How long does it? You know, because we're never really in the present because it takes that long.
Right.
Yeah, it takes like some kind of measurable second for us to be able to like interpret the information
Right,
that
yeah.
Right.
process the information that we're interpreting. That's what I meant to say.
Right.
Nice.
And we're not seeing reality to begin with, so I guess.
What?
Well, we only see a certain spectrum of light. So there's lots of stuff in the physical universe that we got no clue.
What if, what if we're faster than time and we're actually seeing stuff ahead of time? You know, we're seeing stuff before it even happens.
Well, I think that they say that they're actually.
No?
I've heard that time is merely an illusion that we've constructed by this, associated with the speed of light.
That makes sense. But I don't see
And
why that's a
Einstein-
bad thing, though.
No.
I mean, we like the schedule. It's good for our
Oh, yeah, it's-
human
Oh, people love
Yeah.
time.
personality. Yeah, heck yeah. I love being on time. I hate being late. Hate it. I'm not that person. I'll be 20 minutes early and feel almost late.
Right.
No? I don't know. But I feel like the concept of time fake or man-made well, it's obviously man-made.
Yes.
But I just don't think it's a bad thing.
Right. I think there's plenty of people out there that don't really care about it, that they just live their day-to-day lives. They're not sitting there saying, okay, it's breakfast time. Okay, it's lunchtime. Okay, it's dinner time. Okay, it's time for soccer practice. Okay, it's time for this.
That's what you're saying.
I think there's some cultures out there that they just are. They just be. They live.
Right.
They don't worry about structured time. It's just whatever happens, happens.
Touche.
Yeah.
But we're very structured. Is it good, bad, indifferent? I don't know.
It comes in handy when you're trying to land a rocket on the moon.
Did that really happen? Have we been to the moon?
Yeah.
We've definitely been to the moon.
Have we?
But
Yeah.
was it when
And
we
back.
said? Probably not.
Yeah, true.
No.
I mean, come on.
We're relatively close to the moon anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that the moon's craters are not craters from being hit by asteroids. And I heard this from Neil deGrasse Tyson.
It's acne.
Yeah. it didn't get its acne cream.
Right.
Uh-huh.
It was calderas, which are...
Yeah, I know what calderas are. They're geological formations that occur from magma coming up to the surface.
Man.
Volcano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a different kind of volcano. It's
Yeah,
not.
the volcano would make mass. This is like an absence of mass.
Yeah, and it's a perfect circle every time.
Hmm.
Which the Yellowstone.
So
is-
how
is
did
a
they
caldera.
ascertain this through examining the rocks they brought back from the fake moon landing?
No, I think by actually going there for real, they look well because every crater is a perfect circle, which wouldn't happen if you got hit by like oddly shaped asteroids or meteorites or whatever you want to
Yeah,
call
they
them.
No. That's a misnomer there.
What do you
It all depends upon the trajectory. See, what the deal was, the moon used to have an atmosphere. No,
Okay.
I'm wrong about that. What it is, the reason you see so many craters on the moon is because it never had an atmosphere.
Okay.
And they even think that moon was once part of the earth, but it broke off. You've seen what happens to water when it's in slow motion and you see a raindrop. It's really almost a perfect sphere.
Okay.
So like if part of the earth broke off, it would end up being a perfect sphere, but it had no atmosphere. So the earth would look a lot like the moon, but it has the atmosphere protecting it. Because when we see a meteor, it's a meteorite only if it hits the ground.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's a meteor in the sky, so most of them burn up before they hit the ground. But on the moon, there's no atmosphere to stop them from hitting the ground. And at one time in the universe, there was a bunch of shit flying around and hitting the moon, whereas there's not as much of that stuff now.
Yeah, but
You will find a lot of that stuff is in the asteroid belt now.
okay, but I feel like you still wouldn't get perfect circle impacts.
Oh yeah, let me shoot a BB into the ground. We'll go
Yeah,
outside.
but that BB is a perfect sphere. If you get a wonky ass looking motherfucking
Yeah,
meteor
it's all kind of morphed and
that's
oblong
or space
and
trash or
odd-shaped.
whatever, and it hits, it's not.
Okay,
gonna,
well let's take a piece of cauliflower then, and shoot it from a cannon into
I
the
don't-
beach or something. Next time we go to the beach, we'll do something like that. Or
I
take
feel
a,
like it would just.
I feel like we could do
Just
this. I feel like
splatter.
we could test this theory out.
Okay, but that's still going to fit inside a circular cannon.
well, I think you know.
Make like a weird. Just go to any middle school and look at some kid's stupid ass clay sculpture. Take that thing, throw it into the sand. It's not going to make a perfect circle. It's going to make a
Do
blast.
we know that though? Have we tested that?
I don't think
Yeah,
we
it's
have.
physics. I trust Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil, doesn't he think you do? And what are his credentials?
He's an astrophysicist.
Okay, well I guess that. I think I won't argue with that.
You don't know who Neil deGrasse Tyson
No,
is?
I don't. I'm an ignoramus.
Oh man, he's one of the most
Fleming
popular.
wants to fight Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He is.
No, I don't.
I
He
can
just
feel
challenged
that.
him.
Yeah.
No, I'm not anymore. So,
He actually just came out with a book in May called Astrophysicist on the Go, or if you're in a hurry, astrophysicist, something like that.
Right.
Which I now want to read.
Yeah.
It was a fascinating.
so Crater Lake out west is not really a crater.
Is it a lake?
Well, if the crater's on the, they call it Crater Lake. What, are we gonna have to change it? Caldera Lake?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
We'll Google it.
He's the one with the computer.
No, it's someplace out.
I think I heard about that.
I think it's out in Utah or
Crater Lake?
Crater Lake.
Yeah, let's see what that says, Brian.
Why do we care?
Because I think it goes in line with what we were just talking about. Because you're trying to say that it was a caldera.
Well, I'm starting to lean with the astrophysicist, seeing how he's probably studied it a lot longer than I have.
No, because he was talking about some kind of.
I'm just
crater.
regurgitating.
Right, this says formed by a now collapsed volcano.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that Crater Lake is?
Crater Lake.
Well, see there, we should have. It has been tested right here on Earth. I was just regurgitating what I was supposed to learn in school in order to pass the test.
There you go.
So, what good are these tests if they're making us learn faulty information?
It's fake news, man.
It's fake facts.
Yeah.
Fake facts.
Most definitely. Whew, that's a yacht.
Crater Lake.
Sugar
Oregon.
Rush. Dine off. Just dine off.
So, how'd you get started in music? I mean, have you always played guitar? Have you always played harmonica? Did you just sing? How did this thing get started?
Well, my grandpappy, Kistler Blanton, had a ukulele and a harmonica, and I would sneak into his bedroom and play it and the harmonica. But I started in earnest on the saxophone, I think in 7th grade, and learned how to read music and played saxophone in the middle school band, and had played some guitar, knew how to play some chords, and I quit the band because I didn't want to wear the silly suit, which is a decision I regret to this day, because the people who stayed in band, I would have learned a lot more and gone a lot further.
Right.
But the deal was, I had a friend named Mark Collins who is a saxophone player. I always sat, knew I was never going to be. This is an honest, I'm going to do a confession here about human nature. He was so good, and I knew that I would never be first seat. So I quit. So that, see, my ego-driven desire to be number one cost me, and not being willing to accept not being the best and quitting something cost me musically. So then, to answer your question, I picked the guitar up in earnest when I was 16 years old and started playing, skating. It was never really, I'd take a break and I'd get interested in skateboards, and then my grandfather died in 1980, and I took his ukulele and wrote my first song off that ukulele, and got back into guitar and been writing ever since. So.
Do you still remember that first song?
Yeah, and what I've done with songs over the years, you grow and you learn from your experience, because, well, hopefully you do. A lot of times I didn't, but you can always, if you reflect on things, say things better and perfect them over time. So a lot of my songs, the initial write of them, the feel and the melody is all the same. Sometimes I change the melody up a little bit, but the main theme is the same. But I guess it's kind of like being a sculptor. You're never really finished, and you got the product. But I imagine if Michelangelo could have, he might have gone back to David and gone tink, tink, tink every once in a while, Yeah. And I do that. What about you and your art? Do you know when you're finished with something?
Yeah, when I'm tired of looking at it.
When you sell it?
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
I had to set time limits.
Right, I do that, but I mean, I guess it's kind of different. Well, like with music, until you record it, those recordings right there, they even evolve. And I've seen bands in concert, and listened to people play songs over years, and those songs always seem to evolve and just a little derivative of what the original was. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. There are a lot of pieces that I'll stare at over and over and over again, and I'll either start trying to fix it, which I usually can't do because it's watercolor.
Right.
Or I have to give it away because I can't stand to look at it anymore.
So like with charcoal, you can just keep blurring, right? Is that with the advantage of working with pencil or...
Yeah, I don't know. Eventually the paper wears down. Eventually it becomes too smudged. You've tried too many times to fix it. You just have to start over. Which sucks, but the funny thing is, the second one generally is better than the first because you've already done the first one.
Right.
So you have more experience going in to do the same thing. And if that one doesn't turn out right, then you keep... It's just the whole practice thing.
So, do you go through phases like birds... Or I noticed you've gone from you'll do birds and then that's your thing now. You do pet portraits. I know, like Kevin Morsey. You know Kevin?
Oh, I know Kevin.
I love Kevin. Kevin got this saw thing going.
I saw that.
Haha. Owe me a root beer.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool. I do
Saw
go in
quality?
cycles. He paints on saws. Like, he gets old saws and lines them up, like,
Oh, okay.
makes
I thought
match.
you meant like some people do like sculptures with chainsaws and stuff. Like they carve out
Nah,
wood with chainsaws. But
You know
Pretty
anybody who
cool,
does
Kevin.
that?
he did.
I know somebody did that.
You know anybody in Somerville who does that?
No.
I had a 150-foot tree fall in my yard. I got
Oh, yeah.
all the wood you want.
You just need a chainsaw.
I have one of those, but I've worked at it, man, for 2 days. Only a third of it's gone.
Oh my gosh.
It's kind of hard work.
You should just make yourself
So
a
if
canoe.
there's anybody out there that likes chainsawing, I got plenty of practice for you.
I've got a chainsaw, but it's battery powered. It doesn't last very long. It
That-
can't get
that's-
through tough.
That's
work.
an actually smart thing to do because you can always volunteer to help people. Battery's dead. See ya.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah, all of his stuff is battery powered.
If they say 90% of life is showing up, you can say you showed
Yeah,
up.
I showed the fuck up.
Oh man, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you're saying. I have cycles that I go through, I guess.
Yeah.
But for me, it's trying to figure out the best fit for what I want to do. Instead of trying to get burned out drawing just birds all the time, I want to find something that challenges me every time I can do something that I've done many times.
Right.
And birds help, and I'm starting to paint fish and stuff. And
And
I don't know.
octopuses.
Yeah, I saw the octopus.
Pushes.
I like the colors of the octopus. That was cool.
thank you.
Yeah. It's like with anything, I guess, in order for something to be liked by the masses or be commercially viable, sometimes you gotta make compromises.
Yeah, I was really against that. I had
Right. I'm
Yeah.
like thinking about the way these songs are produced as compared to what.
Right.
But I had to
think
like-
most artists are against that. Compromise.
Yeah. Maybe in the beginning, I think it's a sign of maturity
Right.
when you can find the balance between the two.
Right. And if we really want to live a life and do art for a living, you got to compromise.
Agreed.
Which I find interesting. I've been looking at, we talked about CDs not selling and millennials like my daughter have never really bought any music, I don't think. It's
Oh my
all been
God.
free. So the paradigm is that, and I see you doing it with your art out at Blackwater, is you got to come up with something beside the music. In other words, to complement or support the music effort. They said during the medieval times, before there were theaters and stuff, most musicians or artists had to find benefactors, so they
Thank you.
were supported by royalty and hung out in the courts of royalty, and that's how they survived. And then when they started making theaters, that's when they branched out. But the paradigm is the age of making money, like Elvis and the Beatles did through record sales, is gone.
Yeah.
That ain't never gonna happen. So you got to come up with something else to go along with it. Thus, the Flim Shady Laurel 628 jewelry and the raffles out at Blackwater. And musicians are gonna have to get together, and artists get together and start getting back together like they did before record sales and theaters, and maybe change the paradigm of how we deliver music and where we perform and how we perform, and create spaces where people want to come. Go back to the Globe Theater, Shakespeare time, where the
Right.
common people can afford to go. To go to a concert, like I'm going to Brett Dennen with my daughter in August. That was what, $200? That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you go out on a Friday night for $5, kids get in free. That's $10 for the parents. You got 3 kids under 12. Buy some Gray's food.
Right. I mean, it's
Right. And you get see 2 bands. This Rivercraft. What is it? $13 for. You get 2 free beers to get in.
5 bands.
I mean,
Food.
that's exactly what Bummerville Amphitheater's been wanting to do, and without you guys, it wouldn't be happening because you were able to.
Well, without
Get
you,
through-
it wouldn't be happening either.
agreed.
It's
absolutely.
it's like the perfect deal, man. It takes all of us, and that's my point. That I hope musicians, and I think we do a pretty good job of it in Somerville, support each other, but actually, every once in a while, support with your treasure. In other words, throw $5 into the basket, knowing that you're going to be recipient of that $5 the next time you're asked to play at Blackwater.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's just like
Support.
paying it forward kind of deal. So
I mean, if you're enjoying it and you want to continue to enjoy it.
right.
that's
So
just
when you
kinda how it
bring
works.
your girl out with you, and she's not in the band, throw $5 in for her. That's all, guys. But if you can't do it, I understand too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think it's a great spot and with the proper signage on the side of the road
So
so people know how to get there.
this is not the proper venue to discuss these things, but I would like to talk to y'all about any exciting news you might have had from any meetings you had today.
Yeah.
Y'all tune in.
Tune in.
Tune in to Craft Conversations.
Do we want to open those couple beers on that note?
Yeah, this thing is a good time to open up some beer on that note.
Yeah, they're on the door. What are we looking at here?
What, an hour?
An hour?
Did you say on the door?
Yeah, they're on the door in the fridge.
Oh, you don't have your magic box?
No, I put them just put them in the refrigerator.
Sorry, Fleming.
So I've been thinking about, all these connections you're making with breweries
Right.
and how that could tie into the nonprofit through Craft Conversations.
Okay.
So you're meeting points of contacts at breweries,
Right.
and most of them host live music.
Yep.
For the most part, yeah.
Right. So if we could get a craft conversation to her, so let's take somebody like Joshua Jarman, right? And just maybe getting a little tour going. We could map out a tour or something, right?
Right.
I'll reach out to the guys if or leave them a card and say, hey, we got these guys.
Right. Talking like a brewery tour.
Right. And bring up, so that we can start performing
I'll get you
locally. By the way, I'm going to plug something else. South Carolina music guide, Stephanie Smith, who is what they call it, editor of something our founder and editor of South Carolina Music Guide is going to be out at Rivercraft 2018.
Oh.
And she does a lot to support musicians throughout South Carolina. So hopefully we'll get some cool press by that. Now that's real beer there, right?
Yeah, it's a real beer. This is Hoptimum 2018 from Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. It's an IPA, a triple. It's a 9.6% ABV, 65 IBUs, 4.09 average rating. Oh, what the hell happened to it? Stand by, guys. Hold on.
Killing me.
I must
You're
have
on
clicked
nice
something.
flow. You didn't mess anything up.
It's a whole cone hurricane of flavor. Our brewers selected the finest, most flavorful hops, pushed them beyond their limits, and forged them into this all-new triple IPA. The reimagined Hoptimum is our hoppiest beer yet, providing a blend of tropical and citrus hop aromas that delivers a refined yet aggressive character.
I'd say aggressive 9.6.
Yeah, that's pretty aggressive.
Jeez.
All right, so
Cheers.
cheers to
Root beer for me.
Rivercraft
Yes.
2018.
Cheers. Rivercraft. This is a lot bigger of an event than I ever imagined that it would be. When I was talking,
if you go back and listen to our original podcast, we've talked about this event almost exactly as it is happening the entire time.
Actually, to pause that one for a second and let me finish what I was saying. When I originally came up with an idea of having some kind of like fundraiser idea for the podcast, I honestly just pictured it in the back of Brian's house, like Dale's Zen garden. Like a very small amount of people, like not even 20 people. I thought it was something just local friends or whatever to help out in any way that they can. And then it just got bigger. And which is hilarious what you just said, because we talked about it so much that when Blue Spheres episode, Spheres, came out, we talked about on that episode that we would have a date picked and we would have already been promoting it by the time the episode came out. When we recorded it 2 weeks before. Was it 2 weeks? It was about 2 weeks before.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
It was pretty cool because it actually was true.
Yeah.
We never once faltered.
And that's what I'm saying. Ever since the inception, I think maybe even the first episode with Mike Carkett, we talked about putting this event together, and you kept saying, "Oh, we haven't even talked to the people involved, and nobody even knows about it, and we don't know this and that." And I kept saying, "Oh, it's happening, man."
Yeah, I mean,
people are going to be on board, and it's all come to fruition.
Well, we had a couple of good oyster roast out there last winter. I had a Bummerville Blues Bash with Ross Bond came out there, and also had another event with Well Charged, a good reggae band that a local guy, John Bacard's in. Had a great turnout, but trying to do sound production, all the social media promotion, getting the portalets out there, you just name it on top of it. It was just like too much for me to actually put all the pieces together. What's good about this one is that, I was able to, you got more than just a food truck. You got food coming out, and you got ice cream. Well, you got a King of Pops coming.
Yep.
Right, popsicle,
and you were able to get the donation of the beer from Holy City, and Frothy Beard and Family Larry's
and Oak
Road. So see, I was never able to do that. That's what teamwork comes in, man. I mean, and I understand trying to do things autonomously, because it gives us the ability to make decisions and the illusion of control. And but it's better to work in a team, and for teams to work, there's got to be honesty and being brave enough to share your feelings when they get hurt, because I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings. I can guarantee you. My feelings are going to get hurt. But it's iron sharpening iron, and real men share their feelings. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure. It's teamwork. Everybody brings a certain talent to the table, and I think, more people in concert create a better sound. So I think the three of us working together, I'm bringing in Blackwater at this point for this event, but I think it's going to work out great. And I think we all bring certain aspects to the table that kind of gel everything together and just make it a well-oiled machine and a concert event.
Right.
And it's going to be a good time.
Right, and we already got another one planned in September, guys.
Yeah.
September 14th. So,
James
boom.
Theater.
James Dean Theater, and I'm hearing now I'm, and this probably would be separate from Bummerville Amphitheater, Mark Yampolsky from 40 Mile Detour, we're in negotiations trying to get a date at James Dean for him to do, his band to do another show there like we did in the spring, but this time his record company's going to be behind it to help promote it.
Nice.
So it's whether or not we can get a date, and that would be October 12th if we do get that date,
Okay.
or be pushed into the spring. But I see potentials for a lot of places to play music, not just Blackwater. I love Blackwater, but the deal is to be able to. That's why it's Bummerville, not Somerville, so that we can go to any town and
I mean,
do some music.
That makes sense. You know, you're kind of building like a structure
Right, we got
to support multiple things.
Right.
There's no reason just to single one out.
Right, and really, I'm just trying to replicate what Eddie White has done out at Allendale Green. It's not like I came up with this idea. I just went out to Allendale Green and said, "Wow, man, this is cool." Somerville is not quite ready for it,
Right.
but it's cool. And then, I told my concept to Sharon at the Charleston Deli and Bakery. She said, "Wouldn't it be nice?" I said, "Yeah." So I started doing a little something behind Garen's, and then Mark DeShanes from Blackwater approached me. He was trying to do weddings, and that's kind of how we got out there. I said, "Well, we'll try it." So we had the first show we had out there. I think it was called the Bridge Jam. It was in November of 2016.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
There was no concrete out there. We played underneath the wedding shed, which had no wood. It was just one of those carports. If you look at it, it was just a carport at the time. So the sound was like the roof was going like this. It was pretty, and we were running off of generators. But
Oh, wow.
Mark Ampolsky is a gem of a guy. He was gracious about it. I was trying to do sound production out there for him, and anyway, I haven't done sound production for him. No, since. No, I have, but yeah, he's the consummate professional. And anyway, he's big help. He's on the Bummerville Amphitheater board as well. So we're gonna have to start really getting focused on dotting those I's and crossing the T's when it comes to the mail I've received in the last couple of days.
Right.
We'll discuss that later, though.
All right.
All right.
We'll figure that one out.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, talking about a meeting we may or may not have had today, you got Homegrown Brewhouse. I mean, they're trying to do big things with the concert series and the thing you're doing there on Thursday nights and third Thursdays, and I think it's going to turn into a big venue for music.
I hope
It
so.
already is. I mean, Thursday, Friday nights, sometimes throughout the month, but I think might be some big things in the works for maybe turning that into more of a venue for music. Still craft beer, still different things, but I think a music scene is going to be more prominent there, and some licensing may be in place to expand and do bigger things with that venue.
That would be awesome, because that's one of the things we need another of is a listening room. Coastal Coffee Roasters, the warehouse, is for the most part a really good listening room for for the tables that are up close. A lot of times, I'll get in the back by the coffee roasters and start jammering instead of listening. But for the most part, 90% of the people are there intently listening, which is different than most music scenes,
Yeah.
So.
Right. They get involved. They tune in, and that's what they're there for, is to listen to the music, where other places you go, people are just kind of chit-chatting. The music is background noise.
Right.
This place, the music is forefront, right up in your face, and that's what people are there for.
Yeah.
And that's the type of venue I want.
Well, I can just tell you right now that the sound in Homegrown Brewhouse is going to be great, because the acoustics in there are already good. Even if you open up the room, you get a good sound. It won't be bouncing. Won't lose things high in the ceiling.
Right.
It'll be easier to. I just noticed, like, even when you go to the bathroom there, and somebody's playing through the Bose system, I can hear them perfect in the bathroom. It sounds good all the way down that hall.
Yeah, for sure.
It's magic.
It's a good spot.
It's a good system. I guess.
And we missed. They did some hallway sessions the other night with
Blue
Tommy
Sphere.
and Scott. Yeah, with the Blue Spear. The night after their event at Coastal, they went over to Homegrown and played in the hallway. I wasn't there, but I heard it was good.
An impromptu thing?
Yeah.
That would be cool. And they stay open till 11, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to drop in after coming in later. Or, you finish, you don't want to go home and you want to play some more.
Right. A little after party spot.
A little after and just do some unplugged stuff in the hall.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
The hallway's phenomenal.
That's one thing I wish
we talked about that a couple of years ago. We called it the hallway sessions, and we were going to make that a thing with Scotty Oliver Band, but never came to fruition.
Well, I guarantee you. I tell you what's nice is though, like if you get like 2 acoustic guitars and a mandolin or just a little or something like that, and make it something laid back and cool. But what I was going to say before that thought entered my mind is one of the things that I wish was happening in Somerville was that the music went to 11 o'clock. I mean, in the listening rooms.
We said that today.
Yeah, we talked about it today. The 9 thing is like ridiculous.
It needs to be like 8. First of all, I kind of don't like playing in the daylight, when you're... I mean, I don't mind playing today, don't get me wrong, but when you're in a club and you can see this bright sun outside,
I totally
and
understand.
You're starting in the sun, it's kind of like
it's deflating.
People don't go. I used to serve papers on people for like a process server, and people.
Wait. We're gonna take a pee break, everybody.
Okay. 1,000.
That's big. That's a big milestone.
Well, maybe that.
All right, we're back.
Break 1,000. What were we talking about? Bummerville?
We're talking about process serving, and actually I was going to talk about human nature and people being kind of driven by daylight and sunset, and that people come out, the freaks come out at night kind of thing, We were talking about music starting too early.
Right, go ahead.
And ending too early.
What do you mean you were going to talk about daylight?
Well, the process, when I was a process server, the way I caught people was they were human nature. People eat dinner at the same time usually. I mean, in an area. So best time to catch somebody is early in the morning before they're going to work, because most people go to work. And most people are home at dinner time.
Right.
Which is, so most people don't leave the house until like at least 7 o'clock to start with, at the very earliest, unless they're the early bird crowd that's going to get go home at 9.
Right.
But I hope I'm never so old I want to go home at 9 every night.
Right.
There have been a few times that I would love to have gone home at night.
Yeah, right, yeah, but I'd like to have the option to stay out if I wanted to, but there's just, not always music available.
Okay, it's a good point. There's almost no options at that level.
Right.
Now, does Montrose stop at night?
Well, no, but sometimes, like on the weekends, they're not there to listen to music. So you can't listen to music. Yeah. You're hearing more forks and glasses clanging and people, and that's cool. But that's what that's for. But
that's what you meant by listening rooms.
A listening room would be like the hallway at Homegrown Brew House, where people are actually not that they can't talk, but they're conscious that there's music being there.
Right, they're engaged.
And they're engaged, and the least amount they're engaged, they might be carrying on a conversation with somebody, but they're listening with their ear, and they know when the end of the song comes, and they at least have the courtesy to clap to encourage the artist.
Yes.
It's hard. I played at John King last night, and I didn't get the crowd until the last 4 songs because the right people walked in, and then they were sitting down and clapping, and
Right, the right people can turn it around.
Right,
and
right.
bring it
But
back to
if
the
nobody,
band.
and you can't sit up there and clap for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe we could hire some clappers to get them. But
There you
that's
go.
not really what. So if they don't want to clap, they don't have to clap. They don't have to listen. As long as I'm getting paid, that doesn't matter. But it's it's nice when they do clap and somebody listens to the
Well,
song.
I mean, it's validation. I mean, right?
Right. Well, and what I know about it, the way my songs are, they're not. I mean, hopefully they do have a beat to them that's appealing, but really to get the essence of the song, you gotta hear the lyrics.
Which I love lyrics. I like
Right.
listening to
so,
lyrics. It adds so much soul to what you're
right. So it's
experiencing.
and what's cool about it, people get to interpret what you're saying any way they want to, and if it works in their life in a way that it works, that's applicable. It might be something I haven't even thought about or seen, but it's true.
Right, and that's a solid point, because sometimes I like to hear a song and I like to interpret it my own way, but then sometimes I like a storyteller type venue, like a VH1 or whatever, where I want to hear what your thoughts were on it, and I want you to interpret it for me. So I like it both ways, to be honest with you. Does that not sound good? I really like it.
Well,
I think it sounds bad.
No, but sometimes I like to make my own decision, and sometimes I like to hear what the artist thought was. Or sometimes,
right. Well, I mean,
give me both, I guess.
Well, I love all sorts of music, so I get the pop music. I mean, some pop music I like. It doesn't really take a lot of thought, but I mean, abracadabra.
Yeah.
I want to reach out and grab you, or whatever that song is.
That's
I
a
mean,
great
but
song.
yeah, I mean,
Is
it
that
just
a real-
stuck
I didn't know
something.
what you're talking about.
Or for example, the Yo-Yo
Who sang
song.
that song?
That was Steve Miller.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a different version. See, remember me telling you about Weird Al and being 3 years old? I would also change the lyrics of songs in high school, but they got a little bit more risque.
Okay. I love Weird Al.
Abracadabra, drop your drawers and I'll grab you. No.
Yeah, I would say that's a little
That's
bit
kinda
more
creepy.
risque. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's creepy. At this point, maybe not at 13, but
No. It's,
13.
No.
at this point, it's a little creepy.
Yeah. I don't think that would work, but it did work back in the day.
I was
Made
about
people
to
laugh.
say, like, did it actually work ever?
That was Steve Miller Band, you said?
Yeah.
I swear I was at Bigby today, and I saw the trivia question up top was, what was the name of the Steve Miller Band before...
The Steve Miller
Was it
Band?
Steve Miller Band?
Or Rod Stewart.
No, I think it was, what was the name of the Steve Miller Band before it became Steve Miller Band in 19... God damn it, I can't remember.
I don't know.
I will say that I like that Big B does the
They do
trivia.
trivia every day.
I like
You go in
trivia.
there and you kind of get a little brain tease.
Where's it on the screen? And you.
They got like a little chalkboard. They just write a question up there every day, and you can go
Oh,
and
it's-
kind of do trivia.
Are you a trivia person? That
Sometimes
sounds like a
I-
no. That's a no hesitation right there.
No, I mean, I'm good at it, but I don't like it. How's that?
That's bullshit.
What?
Because I feel like a lot of people that love it aren't good at it.
Right.
Me.
No, I mean, you just know the kind of questions there. I mean, if it's the kind where, they do it at Palmetto Flats. Have you ever been to that one they have on Tuesday? The format they have, it's kind of neat.
I don't think I've
I don't know if
ever
they
been
still do that. But anyway,
Right here on Bacon's Bridge.
yeah, so what they do on a Tuesday night, they have trivia, and have a girl ask questions, and you write the answer down, and in between the questions and the people writing it down, the guy plays a song, da 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 da, and sometimes the song goes along, and there might be a hint in the song, who knows, but and there are different categories, sports, yada yada yada, and you play it at a table as a team, and your team plays for like $50 coupon at Palmetto Flats, and
That's not bad.
that's fun. So certain questions, it's almost like Trivial Pursuit. Have you ever played that?
Oh, dude, I love Trivial
Yeah,
Pursuit.
like some of those
Like it.
questions I'm good at. Other ones, pop culture from,
Oh, yeah. Such a good
For
game.
example, if they asked me a question about Star Wars, who would you go to about Star Wars if you had a question about Star Wars?
Don't look at me. I don't know jack shit.
You?
Out of this group? Probably me.
Out of Somerville.
Oh, out of Somerville?
Yeah.
Caleb
man.
Taylor? No?
I don't know. Maybe we ought to have a contest.
Do you have a name in mind? Who are you
I
talking
think
about?
Wesley Donahue from Frothy Beard.
No
he's always,
way,
Yeah, he's
really?
always posting about.
I mean, we had a Star Wars trivia at Oak Road. There was some people in there that knew a lot.
Who won?
I can't remember who it was, but it wasn't Wesley Donahue.
Was it
It wasn't.
a group effort there? Or was it just one?
No, the
one
guy
person?
that won, it was he and his girlfriend, but I feel like he answered all the questions because he was sitting right at the bar.
Gotcha.
I don't think the girlfriend provided much, but
I bet I could win a Harry Potter trivia.
We ought to have one of those. There you go. That's the kind of thing, the paradigm. Theme-based concerts.
it's a big thing right now.
Was
If we host it, though, I can't win it. But I could come up with the questions, I guess.
Right.
That's so not satisfactory. I like winning. I like winning.
so.
Alright, screw your idea.
No, I was already on to the next one.
Alright, let's hear it then.
Well, just a live broadcast in any establishment that would host you there. You know, you could more exposure. Set up a night. I know I'm doing like at the Honky Tonk
It's tomorrow night.
tomorrow
Yeah.
night. I'm at
Yeah,
the
it'll be
open
in
mic.
Pass.
Yeah, it's already past 12. Well, that's tonight. I'll be at Honky Tonk. 24 hours from now, I'll be pulling in my house.
No, this
God
one-
willing, the creek don't rise. But anyway, I noticed they're having like bingo there. They're having paint, wine, and design, painting and stuff going on, and doing all sorts of stuff to try to get people to come in. And they have a good steak on Tuesday nights. And but I could totally see them having a trivia thing and incorporating that into an open mic and needing hosts, and they actually pay pretty well. Those guys are
The whole wine and design thing is so stupid.
right.
It's a little silly. I mean,
Like, you're going to sit there and drink.
the chicks love it.
Yeah, well,
They really do.
Okay.
that wasn't even my point. My point is they're open to trying new things to get
Right.
people to come to everything. I mean, people are doing bingo for goodness sakes to get people to come.
Well,
Yeah, it's pretty
here's our
sad.
thought. We need to bring back comedy clubs to
Oh.
Somerville and Charleston.
Hey, have y'all seen I'm Dying Up Here?
No.
On Showtime? Watch it. It's 1970s comic. It's loosely based on some truth, but it's a pretty good series.
What's the name of it?
I'm dying up here. But anyway, what I liked about it is the camaraderie between the stand-ups and also the competition, because it reveals a lot about human nature. And I wish all artists would watch the way these comics treat each other.
They've got such a good community.
They got a good community, but it also deals with the envy that's within the community and speaks to it openly. You know, I don't know if you've ever experienced.
Oh, well, that's not what I expected.
No, I mean it is, but it's human nature. When you really want to feel good for somebody when they're doing something good.
Yeah, but at the same
But
time,
sometimes
you fucking hate them.
these guys, no, well, especially if you've been working your way up there and being consistent, and then somebody comes in out of nowhere and just boom goes past you. You want to be happy for them, but part of you wants to go, man, yeah, you know.
Oh, yeah. You didn't put in the hours to
Right,
get there.
yeah, right. I mean, and it's what's the deal? But anyway, I don't like being that person. But if you don't own up to it, then you can't not be that person, I think. And so, but anyway, it talks about some of that through comedy, and it made me look at myself and how I look at others. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
the paradigm is don't worry about what people think about you. Think about what you think about others, and If you do that, if you're hating on somebody, you ain't loving them.
That's what I'll hold it. Sorry, Fleming, I didn't mean to interrupt.
What's with the secret pad, man?
No, I'm just an idiot and I forgot my own, and I just want to make a note, and I can't read Brian's handwriting to save my life. I'm just naming the episode, that's all.
Okay, all right.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, so with all that said, yeah, we want to open up, or not open up, but just create a spot.
Introduce
here in
more
town
comedy.
For comedy. We feel like there's a big niche that's being missed. I mean, there's a few places downtown.
Theater 99.
Yeah, that thing.
But it's improv. And although
the Sparrow does a Monday night thing or whatever, but
I want to see skits.
You're talking about like nightclub comedy, right?
Yeah.
Or so that we
can, just everybody gets up for a 15, 20-minute spot or whatever and do 2-3 comics.
And have open mic comic night.
Yeah.
It could be open mic or it could be, legit kind of comics around town.
Well, see, what we've... Yeah, you need... I don't know. Just watching this series, I'm just thinking that you're going to need a real good cocktail bar to make this thing work.
Yeah, we'll have.
Yeah, I mean,
there's options, but like we need comedy.
Liquor.
Yeah, that to keep
for the comics. Which I understand.
You're talking about probably doing it once a week, once a month, or what do you? I mean, if you wanted to do it every night, you'd have to have a.
No, once a week, I would think.
Once a week?
Just a comedy night.
I mean, if it takes us getting up there and bombing every single night until people get the courage to do it themselves.
We'll get up there and do a Cheech and Chong routine or whatever.
Oh,
I don't care. I mean, we just need...
Look here, you're going to get, depending upon the parameters you set, about whether it's PG-13 or it's,
Oh, no, it's a bar. It's wide open.
You're right. Yeah. Okay, well then that'll probably eliminate the parents who are going to bring their kid up there.
Yeah, I don't want any of that shit.
I mean, you will get that though. I mean, at open mics that start early.
Well, that's great.
You're going to get.
I want to see their faces when they're introduced to what we're expecting.
Right. Well, you need to start it at 9 o'clock maybe.
Oh, I gotta get out of
when
here.
The kids are.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. I do stand up.
Well, dude, that's great.
Yeah,
we'll sign you up.
Totally do it.
I'm gonna guilt as many people as possible.
Between you and Melanie, we got 2 people.
3. I'll do it.
You'll do it.
That's 45 minutes.
Chris Tracy probably do it.
Oh yeah, maybe File.
File probably do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
so there we go. We got a whole show.
Like there's plenty of people that we could
just
get up there. I mean, talking in front of a crowd is probably a little bit different, but if you've already been on a crowd and you talk a lot, then
all right.
So we'll do music 2-3 nights. We'll do a comedy night.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll close a couple nights maybe. I don't know.
Nah, I never close.
No, 7 days a week.
I don't know. It depends on how much you want to work. It doesn't matter. We're not going in that situation right now. But the introducing comedy, I think, is just something that Somerville has 0% of. There's no comedy anywhere in Somerville. Improv, stand-up. I mean, not even the theater that James Dean is doing anything.
Nothing.
Well, I mean, aside from maybe like a comedy play.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they're doing things, but yeah, hadn't been like a comedy show.
No, I like the people down at Flowertown Players, man. Courtney's great.
Hilarious.
She's the one that worked with us.
Yeah, you met her.
Night we went in, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I get you.
Very charismatic.
But no, they're doing a lot of stuff that's funny, man. I think one of them was about what was it? I forget the name. I haven't been to any plays at Flowertown, which might mean
it's been a while for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Mice and Men was the last one I went to, but forgive me, Courtney. I hope you will listen to this.
I hope so too.
I do too. Maybe you might come on the show one day.
Yeah.
Or at least make an appearance on the 14th of September.
Oh, she's got to be there.
Yeah, she's going to be there so she can promote the Flowertown Players. See, there's another...
Heck, maybe we'll sit down and talk to her for a little bit, too, while we're set up.
Right. I would think that would be cool. Just another avenue for people to get their word out about the art they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, that's, you know.
I mean, I would love to promote plays. I like going to plays. You know, I'm a big fan. I saw Evil
It's cool
Dead
having a
as
theater
play.
in town. I mean, where else do you get a theater in town? Most places you got these big, giant productions and theaters and whatever. We got a nice, small, quaint,
It's really neat.
cute little theater right here in
We
town.
we should start doing theater. You gonna be an actor?
I can act like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
No, I tell you what. No.
I've done 2 or 3 plays.
Have you done
in my lifetime.
any of the ghost
Really?
or the mystery
Wow.
stuff downtown? They'll have like you go to a restaurant
a
and
ghost walk type thing?
not a ghost walk so much. And I should take my wife to one of these. It's like a mystery dinner where there's actors and the waiter or something. There's a mystery that goes on. And,
Right, you got to solve a murder or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Clue or something like that. And dinner goes along with it.
Right.
Yeah, mystery dinner.
Brad's done that at
Well,
Coastal?
Brad's done it a few times. I worked at one at a bed and breakfast in Somerville, and Corner House has done a few as well.
Oh, they have?
Oh yeah, it's like a engaging theatrical murder mystery dinner.
Now, speaking of good rooms, which is a sales room, but that room out at a Corner House Cafe, I've done some singer-songwriter Sundays up there, and it's got a good sound.
That's on what, second Sunday, right? Or
Right,
something?
but we're taking the summer off. We might bring it back in the fall.
Too hot.
Yeah, and during the winter there wasn't as much traffic of people wanting to buy houses, and so that spot was available. And if it wasn't available, it was comfortable enough to play outside. But I played there on a Friday night one time, and had a pretty good turnout. It was good.
That's a
The
good
room's
location.
got good acoustics.
Yeah.
What's my point?
The layout's nice too.
Yeah, I kept meaning to get over there, but I never did.
It's
I have
wonderful.
to wait till it comes back.
Way to go.
I know.
So while
Most of us.
we have the segue of no words. Do you think you can play us some tunes?
I could try.
I would love to listen.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Wait, you said you were gonna try?
I'll do my best.
Oh, that's all we can really ask for.
Yeah, the best is all you can give.
You mean pause it while you get everything situated?
So,
All right.
so you have a 5-panel hat. What? How many panels? Does that have panels on it? The hat that Fleming has on it?
It does.
Is that a 3-panel
I
hat?
think that's 4.
4.
That's like a driving cap,
2.
right?
I maybe could see 4. But those remind me of Scottish hats. There's like a it's
Yeah.
like a Scottish hat.
I think it's a Scottish.
Uber Goober hat, man.
Is that a thing?
I
Look
think
that up.
I
Is
don't
there a
know,
thing called a Scottish hat?
maybe like a Scottish driving cap.
Scottish
To repeat myself.
hat. See what it says here.
I was gonna
Ooh.
pause this, but you're making
Wow.
me record it.
Yeah, I was trying to keep this thing going here a little bit. So images. Yeah, that's kind of a Scottish hat, but it seems like a lot of them have have little pom poms on top of it though. So yeah, if you look.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's not what it is.
Yeah, a lot of them have like pom poms.
Oh, look at that
on
guy.
the top
You
right
type
here.
in Scotch, and you just get drunk assholes with like red mullets.
But some of the hats look like it, like this
That
guy right
definitely
here.
does, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a Scottish hat.
Oh, what the
Kinda.
hell? That's like some kind of douchebag over here. It's like
This guy?
Yeah,
A fucking $102 hat.
that's not
Screw
worth
that guy.
$102.
That's
Although this
on
village
Etsy?
hat looks almost
Fuck that
identical. Yeah.
I need that hat.
I still think you need to find a better term for this hat than Scottish.
Jesus Christ. $102 and 73 cents, for goodness sake. And you still look like a douchebag.
There you
Why do you
go.
gotta pay that to look like a douche?
Lay it down, brother.
There's so many great hats. It's crazy.
I think you're crazy.
You allow me to adjust this mic?
You can adjust your mic any which way you want to, bro.
Yeah, we'll look at the levels and see if we can get it dialed in.
And calm down. You're just making shit up at this point. Look at your smile.
We do have Rivercraft 2018.
We're not recording.
Where's the ukulele?
Ukulele?
Or the OG.
Yeah, the OG ukulele. Yeah, that sounds good. It looks good.
So when you want to start recording, or we were?
What is he? What is Caleb doing over there?
He's gonna make me laugh now.
No, we're good. I'm saying it
You're
looks.
like, yep, sounds good. Looks good.
We were on the high end over there.
He ain't gonna do shit about it. Sounds good no matter what. Yeah, you can wear the headphones if you want, but you don't have to.
All right.
I was gonna say you might be the first person ever to wear.
Well, I'm just used to when I'm in the studio wearing headphones.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know for that studio.
Yeah, let's get rid of
Studio.
those.
Yeah. Well, I got a bunch of acoustic tile that could soundproof a place.
Oh, well, hey. I'm sure we could actually use it. At least do something with these drums. So whenever you're ready, man, you go ahead and let us know what you're playing and just jump into it. You know, when you're ready.
Yeah, Fleming Moore. Everybody.
Everybody.
So this first song is for Nadine Collier, who I think should have the Nobel Peace Prize. And anyway, you might be able to figure out who Nadine Collier is at the by the end of the song, I hope. Born with blood on his hands, into a heritage of hate. He flew his flag on his license plate. In a house of God, where they knelt and prayed, at point blank range, they sent them to their graves. And 9 lives were lost, and they ain't coming back, just because their skin was black. In the county courthouse, where he was arraigned, her words fell hard like a summer rain. She spoke of her loss, all her hurt and her pain. Then she forgave them all in Jesus' name. She forgave them all in Jesus' name. In the holy city, the first will be last. 9 lives were lost, but their love still lasts. And the last will be first, and the first will be last. In this holy city, our love will last.
harmonica and the guitar and sing and all that shit at the same time?
Well, I wouldn't call that singing, fellas. But
No, you sang. Definitely sang.
Yeah, I would too.
How you do it all together? I just can't do it. I guess I could. I'd try.
have you ever tried juggling before?
Oh, I can juggle.
Well, I used to could juggle.
Used to.
Yeah, I had a stroke when I was 28 years old and had to learn how to play guitar all over again.
Really?
Yes, I forgot to mention that tonight. I was
That is,
giving a talk
you should
someplace.
mention.
No, thank you. I'm doing the other thing I'm doing, I wouldn't tell you, I'm doing a renewal conference in Hendersonville, North Carolina at the end of the month, doing 3 workshops. So, anyway, that involve music and storytelling.
I like it.
You're a good storyteller. That's for sure.
All right. So how many? One more, maybe?
Well, if you want to play one more, we'll do it in the carpet wall. Or you can play one more in the chair and then do a third one in the carpet wall. It's really up to you.
Yeah.
I'll play one more in the chair. I'm kind of comfortable right here, right now.
All right, well, we're going to make you get in that carpet wall.
All right.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
So that one was off of Folk Songs for the Apocalypse.
Yeah, what was the name of that one? I got to put
That
a
one's
title.
call In the Holy City. You can
In the Holy City.
stream it on Spotify.
In the holy city.
Well, that makes sense, yeah. Oh, it's not bad. You
Good
could be like,
tune
a,
right there,
like a
right?
little backup singer. I like
Let's
that.
take it back up.
All right, so I'm gonna burp on camera here.
Like Brian said, just let it out.
Just let it
Probably
go.
not the first burp here on Craft's Conversation. Is
Yeah,
it?
It won't be the last either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to record you burping, I guess.
Okay, no, you don't. All right.
Get that zoomed in.
So I'm going to do one off of On the Edge of America. And I wrote this one before the election when I thought somebody else was going to win, so I had to change the words around just a little bit. But anyway, it's something we can all agree upon and which no one can argue about. It's called We're All Gonna Die. But first I gotta change harmonica, so all that was for naught.
All right, guys. So pardon this.
Sorry about that. Here we go.
Here we go.
This one's called We're All Gonna Die. He said there'd be signs at the end of the age. There'd be rumors of war and the seas would rage. And men's hearts would fail and faint from fear. When you see these things, you'll know the end is near. You can run and you can hide, but sooner or later said there'd be many who would come in his name, saying I am he, but only deceived by a crooked politician with a trick up his sleeve. Oh, it's been in the truth, so you might believe he's gonna save us all, but it's like sooner or later we're all gonna die. Keep your head held high, keep your eyes open wide. Redemption's waiting at the end of time. Keep your head held high, keep your eyes open wide. Our redemption's waiting at the end.
Right. Yes.
I fucked that up.
No.
Twice in the beginning, I hit the wrong chord.
That sounds awesome.
Phenomenal. It's really good.
I mean, we're all gonna die anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Who cares?
The entire time I was like, what did you have to change for this song?
Oh, the one, it was a crooked politician with a trick up her sleeve. I swear I wrote it before that, but
Ooh,
I mean,
timer's going off.
Whoa,
Stop it.
calm down over there.
she's, she was bending the truth just as much as he. I mean, it was. I completely understand why people did
Oh my
not
gosh,
vote
she
for
is
her.
awful. Literally.
Right, right.
The worst.
But I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
I said it.
No. You know.
I thought the fix was
The
in.
whole campaign was the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, it was a shame that we've come to that point where good people can't. But anyway, it's.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
it's.
Dark
Johnson.
alley.
All the way.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I'm staying out of politics. I swear.
Hey,
Dale's
yeah, I like
2020.
that.
A
Yeah,
vision for the future.
that's right. A vision for the future. Dale's 2020.
Right.
All right, well, we need to get you situated in the carpet wall, which
The
means we
carpet
gotta,
wall, is that a stand-up gig or is it?
we're just going to shove you in this corner.
You can do whatever, man. You can sit in this chair, that chair.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Stand up as in.
Stand up.
Yeah.
Oh, the carpet wall.
We won't make you do the Leia carpet.
Don't put that away. What are you doing? Oh, you're getting a strap.
Strap on.
I see what.
Strap it on.
He said strap on. That's funny. I like that.
We need the. Do we want to take this? Don't worry.
Do
Don't
we?
worry, Caleb. I got it.
All right, Brian. But what cord are you plugging it into?
I don't know.
All right, we're gonna pause. We'll be back. Yeah, we're picking them up.
So this one is called Someone's Son. It's the title track to the forthcoming EP, Someone's Son, to be released approximately around July the 14th in CD form, probably sooner than that on Apple Music. Impending doom distracts the chord of fear through the hearts and minds of the ones so near. The sonic boom in a blue sky so clear, behind big trail silent just disappear. In their wake, destruction and waste, death, disease. It's the bittersweet taste of victory. No one will win, not a soldier, refugee, or a politician. Well, the fear don't hit you, brother, like it would if they were dropping those bombs into your own neighborhood. They blew out your windows and rattled your walls. Would you stop for a while? Would you pray for every child, for every child? Woman side in your plan. How many lives until we see where in war is any victory? Stone-like soldier, he was someone's son. When the light left his eyes, his fighting was done. Brother killing brothers, since God put us here. When we went killing with guns, we killed with spears. Here we are, all humanity, living in the age of atomic energy. When the last war is over, the smoke has cleared, they'll be pounding swords into plowshares. They'll wipe every tear from every single eye. There'll be no more death or sorrow. There'll be no more crying. How many lives until we see where in war is any victory? Stone-like soldier, he was someone's son. When the light left his eyes, his fighting was done.
God damn. I just love that message. I mean, it brings it back to like the 60s, to peace, love, and togetherness. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I always saw that going.
This peace starts with just one act of kindness, they say.
Yeah.
True that. Right, well, I think that was such a good note to end on.
Yeah.
World peace.
Yeah, that was awesome.
World peace.
Why not? The best of things then.
Yeah.
Fleming, thanks for honestly helping us start this. This is all so much has to do with what you have helped us create, and
Well,
we're glad.
man, y'all had the idea
For sure.
that it was one of those thoughts that had crossed my mind, but I just didn't have the knowledge and know-how and the time or what to do. But it fits into the what the aim is to be able to number one is to be able to live within your means and find something that you love, that you have a passion for, and find a way for it to create some stability in your life for income, you know?
Yeah.
And I truly believe if you do things for the right reason, the universe will give back what you pour into it.
Absolutely.
Right, and if it's for vainglory, which I have to check myself all the time. I was just telling people that night, you know, what is the real motive behind what I'm doing? You know, I got to drill down sometimes because I'll, you know, or I need other people to say, hey, you know, think about what you're doing or what you're saying. With that being said, I think there's a lot of potential, but I gotta file some paperwork.
Well, let me end the podcast before we get all technical.
Oh, we're still, y'all cut that shit.
No, we're still going. I'm trying to say
No.
goodbye, and you keep talking.
No, good. You can't put that in there.
All right, well, let me finish what I was saying
chop
then.
it up.
Fleming, thank you for helping us create what we have been trying to create and being one of the beginning stepping stones to where we've gotten.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I remember the day we brought that.
Before we get on another tangent,
Uh-huh.
to you, to everyone else, we'll talk to you soon.
We'll talk to you.
Can I say you're welcome and thank you as well.
Yeah, now yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank Craft Conversation for having me.
All right.
For sure.
For real.
Well, we're about to hit the space bar.
Peace out.